Hi, this is BB Ukrainian Analytics, and my name is Bogdan Butkevych. I'm a Ukrainian journalist.
Hi, and I'm Olena Vostrova, a Ukrainian vlogger, and here we tell you the truth about Ukrainians without censorship and propaganda. So subscribe for our channel if you want to know the insider information about what's really going on here in Ukraine.
So, what's the top news of this week, Pani Olena?
So this week Russia continues its grain terror, bombing Ukrainian grain infrastructure and ports together with civil objects.
On Sunday, July 23, Russian forces fire 19 missiles that damaged 50 buildings, 25 architectural monuments in Odessa center that is under UNESCO protection, and also the Greek consulate.
Also, the biggest historic Ukrainian Orthodox Cathedral in Odessa was badly damaged in these Russian strikes.
Archbishop Victor of Arcis of the Ukrainian Church of the Russian Patriarchate, vicar of the Diocese of Odessa, has sent a letter to Patriarch Kirill of Moscow and all members of the Synod of the Russian Orthodox Church in connection with the Russian attack on Odessa on Saturday night. He wrote, "Today when I saw that a Russian missile blessed by you had directly struck the altar of the church in the Holy of Holies, I realized that the Ukrainian Orthodox Church has long had nothing in common with your understanding."
In fact, the Ukrainian Orthodox Church has nothing to do with the Ukrainian. It is affiliation of Russian Orthodox Church, which in its turn has nothing to do with Orthodox Church.
Because it is a destructive cult that is a part of Russian propaganda machine that works all over the world.
And in fact, it is a part of the FSB, the Federal Security Service of the Russian Federation, that has an extensive system of deep spies all over the world and works under the legend of a religious organization.
Metropolitan Agafangel of this Moscow church in Ukraine also suddenly got his side and said that this is a real genocide of the Ukrainian people and the madness of all those who give orders to bomb Ukraine, kill Ukrainian soldiers and people.
At the same time, these Moscow popes do nothing to break the canonical connection with Russian Church.
So we can conclude that the strike of Russian forces and the, so to say, coming out of Russia popes could be just a part of Russian special operation. Putin liked to do something like this, yeah? It gives such popes the opportunity to oppose and, become deep agents of Russia and continue lying to the world that Ukraine oppresses the rights of believers.
That's why this week the Ukrainian parliament has launched the procedure that will ban the Moscow Church in Ukraine. We all are looking forward to this because the Russian propaganda infrastructure in our religious sphere is a real threat to our national security.
The second case is about our internal politics.
The dissatisfaction of Ukrainian society with the authorities is growing because what they say does not match what they do.
In words, Zelensky's government constantly talks about the war until the victorious end. They say that only the borders of 1991 will satisfy us and all Ukrainian society. Okay, it's true. But in practice, corruption and Zelensky's personal PR company continue to eat a considerable part of the state budget of Ukraine.
As well as the reluctance of the ruling party deputies to observe basic tact and behavior rules during the war.
So, over the past week, there have been two resonant government resignations.
Oleksandr Tkachenko, the scandalous Minister of Culture and Information Policy, resigned. He is known for managing the 1+1 channel of oligarch Igor Kolomoisky, on which President Zelensky made his career.
In addition, at the beginning of the war, Tkachenko did nothing to save a huge amount of cultural heritage from the occupied territories of Ukraine.
And then he became the curator of the so-called United Telethon, Frankenstein, which united oligarchs who are loyal to Zelensky and their channels into a single broadcast network under the control of the president's office, where patriotic propaganda and unlimited PR of Zelensky and his surroundings are raging.
The opposition channels were already thrown out of it in the spring of 2022. The European Union and the West have already made it clear to Zelensky many times that it is time to abandon such a frankly anti-democratic tool.
But the telethon seems to remain until the end of hostilities. After all, Zelensky doesn't want to lose the opportunity to keep Ukrainian television under complete control.
So, Tkachenko was in charge of the telethon. And although it is rumored that he had a bad relationship with the main favorite of Zelensky, the head of the president's office, Andriy Yermak, so the importance of the telethon was still more important.
So Tkachenko was fired from his post for allocating 400 million hryvnias, or $11 million, during the war to low-quality TV series at a time when the army lacks everything.
The money was distributed among its production facilities close to Zelensky office Kvartal 95 and without a normal tender.
The public was particularly outraged by the allocation of 30 million hryvnias for the production of the TV series, in which, according to the plot, IT specialists from Kharkiv flee their hometown instead of defending it.
And this is despite the fact that the real IT specialists from Kharkiv, I know such kind of people, many such kind of people, so they have been defending their city since the first days of the Russian attack and do not want to leave it for today.
So, according to the plot, they finally end up in the village of the prototype of one of the favorites of the president's office, a certain Povoroznuk, who sort of teaches them village life.
You know, the worst thing is that it turned out to be a carbon copy from the Russian TV series of 2019, where the local IT people were running away from being drafted into the Russian army.
And all this happens on the background of Tkachenko's statements that there is no money for normal cinema. Accordingly, such obvious extravagance with a touch of corruption caused great indignation.
That's why Zelensky was forced to respond to a huge scandal and dismiss him.
The second very resonant case happened with the deputy chairman of the Verkhovna Rada Defense Committee, Yuri Aristov, a representative of Zelensky's Servant of the People party.
So this Aristov went to the NATO summit in Vilnius, and from there, as the journalist discovered, he went to the Maldives. For this, he faked a sick leave.
Taking into consideration that a large number of Zelensky deputies have already been involved in various corruption and reputation scandals, Zelensky made him quickly refuse the deputy's mandate.
It would seem like a victory for civil society on the first sight, yep, and prove that Ukraine remains a democratic country during the war. However, the nuance is that these two characters, had personal and long conflicts with the head of the president's office, the favorite of Zelensky, Andriy Yermak, which is the reason for such a quick and demonstrably harsh reaction to their fuck-ups.
When it comes to Yermak's people, neither the law, nor public opinion, nor the opinion of Western partners matters to Zelensky, unfortunately.
So proof of this is Oleg Tatarov, who remains in the president's office as a curator of law enforcement agencies. This scandalously famous figure of Yanukovych's time, who acted as a spokesman for the police during the peak of Maidan. So that man declared that the protesters are killing themselves. And the police are just bringing order.
Zelensky and Yermak personally saved this person from responsibility when the Anti-Corruption Bureau accused Tatarov of taking a bribe from a large developer to falsify the materials of the criminal case against him.
Therefore, you can rejoice the triumph of justice. But you should understand that Zelensky is trying to silence public opinion with this man, with Aristov and Tkachenko, because they are no longer important to him. At the same time, the most odious people, such as, for example, Andriy Yermak himself, who I will remind you was as long time as an assistant to Elbrus Tadeev, a deputy from Yanukovych's party of Regions. He beat the opposition in Verkhovna Rada, so he's in their position.
That's all for today. Please write your comments and questions right under this video.
Give us your like and subscribe for our channel, the channel of top news, analytics and insights from Ukraine and about Ukraine.
Here we give you the Ukrainian worldview for the world, so subscribe for our channel if you want to know what's really going on here in Ukraine from the inside.
See you.
Pa-pa.